Storm Éowyn brings danger to life and record wind speeds. Millions across the UK are told stay home.
The storm problems causing a lot of issues, particularly in the north of Scotland, on the island of Ireland as well. Let's show you one image this morning. Initially, as soon as we looked at this picture, this is on the Dublin coast. It looks rather beautiful, is the truth. The sunshine there, but I think you can see from the trees in the foreground there, very, very severe winds that are causing a lot of problems for a lot of people.
There have been records, a wind speed record on the island of Ireland, a new record of 114 miles an hour, recorded this morning near Galway. So the message is, be careful, heed the red alert warnings. Of course, updates will be happening throughout the day online and on the BBC News channel and, of course, our radio station.
Before we leave you, let's take a look at some live pictures from other parts of the UK. This is Anglesey in North Wales, the wind whipping up waves there. And meanwhile, the Cairngorms in Scotland, you can see the wind there blowing, obscuring the image across the camera. There will be continued coverage of Storm Éowyn throughout the day.
Well, Rita, Storm Éowyn was and still is an exceptionally dangerous storm system. It's the fifth named storm of the season and it's been bringing some ferocious winds, the full scale of that as it's worked into the coast here. The strongest wind gust was recorded at Mace Head in the Republic of Ireland, the strongest wind gust ever recorded in the Republic of Ireland. Meanwhile, in Killowen, the 92-mile-an-hour gust recorded here, the strongest wind gusts for over a quarter of a century. Now, what's caused all this was a phenomenon known as the sting jets, and here comes Storm Éowyn as it worked towards the United Kingdom. Now, we have various flows of air within this storm system, but this conveyor belt of moisture rising upwards through the atmosphere produced this area of cloud and rain. Now, some of the rain in this cloud tip just here started to fall into some exceptionally dry air, 5 kilometres, 3 miles up in the Earth's atmosphere, and that caused some of the rain to evaporate. That cools the atmosphere down, makes the air dense, and that dense air then rushes down and accelerates to the Earth's surface. It's this that is known as a sting jet, and it brought those 114-mile-an-hour gusts to the west of Ireland. By the way, after the 114 mile an hour was recorded, the sensor that recorded that went offline. Still don't know what happened to it. Now, beyond that, so we've seen the weather system working its way across Northern Ireland and Scotland, bringing ferocious gusts of wind. Sting jets were first discovered after the forecast failure of the Great Storm in 1987. Scientists went back to look at this, what went wrong, and they discovered sting jets were the answer. And initially, Storm Éowyn was powered by an exceptionally strong jet stream.
The jet stream is becoming stronger because of climate change. So every 1 degree of warming of global average temperatures, the jet stream has increased by about 2%. Doesn't sound like much, but it's increasing. And the jet stream is the thing that is driving these weather systems. So a stronger jet stream will mean more intense storms.
Storm Éowyn then has been an exceptionally dangerous storm, and in the last hour we continue to see gusts up to 87 miles an hour in Scotland, so we're not finished with the danger just yet. I'll have the all-important forecast details for this exceptionally dangerous storm a little bit later. Rita.
Where's it heading to next?
Hi Nina. Well, it's slowly going to be pushing northwards and eastwards, and it will have cleared by tomorrow, but it is a particularly slow moving storm, I have to say, and it's a very powerful tool. Of course, the full damage will be assessed after the event, but some very large waves being whipped up towards western coast, such as here in Anglesey, even away from that red warning zone. And we do have some red warnings in place, as we've been saying, across the Isle of Man and then Northern Ireland and, of course, southern and central Scotland too. And those expire, well, the Northern Ireland one expires at 2 and then this one expires for southern and central Scotland at 5 o'clock later on this afternoon. The red warnings are really very rare indeed. We really don't see very many of them. And within the red warning area, you have to be aware that there is a danger to life. The last red warning was issued for Storm Dara, which was back in the autumn, if you remember that. And Storm Éowyn is our fifth named storm of the season. It's not been a particularly busy storm season so far. By this point last year, we were actually on our 10th named storm, which was Storm Jocelyn. But Éowyn is a particularly powerful storm, and as we've been hearing, it's given some very strong wind gusts indeed, including 114-mile-an-hour gusts. That's a record-breaking gust for the Republic of Ireland at Mace Head. And after that, the sensor broke, possibly as a result of those winds being so strong.
Hello, all today's weather headlines have been about Storm Éowyn and all the problems well to the north of us. Here it is. It was wet and windy as we began our day, but conditions improved through the afternoon. There was even a little bit of sunshine around for time as well.
Teresa, and of course it's Storm Éowyn taking centre stage. This is just one of many of today's trees that have been toppled due to those fierce winds here in Northern Ireland.
There's been a lot of weather today. Most of it we've been spared.
Oh, absolutely. It's been just an exceptional, crazy kind of day across the north of the UK, for Northern Ireland, for Scotland, and of course across the Republic of Ireland, Northern England too. For us, though, it's been quiet, quite breezy, but bright skies with a bit of sunshine.
Becky's come back into the studio, and yeah, you were right about those storms when you spoke to us about it a week ago. You did say that they were going to be pretty powerful this week.
Yeah, it really, I mean, it has, as I said before, it has definitely all gone to plan. And scientifically, it's been absolutely fascinating. It's already up there as one of the most powerful storms that has hit the UK since records began nearly 150 years ago. As Storm Éowyn was approaching the west of Ireland today, a sting jet developed, resulting in those wind gusts of 114 miles an hour, as we were hearing earlier on. Now, what is a sting jet? Well, it's a core of very intense winds at ground level that develop within a rapidly deepening area of low pressure. And essentially, it's the atmosphere transferring those winds to higher levels. Now, let's have a look at what's going on here. We've got that very, very powerful jet stream, and that has been really what's been the cause of what we've had recently. That very, very powerful jet stream has given us explosive cyclogenesis and what has been called, of course, a weather bomb or bombergenesis. Now, that certainly has been a very, very disruptive period. Now, what we are expecting is that jet stream is going to continue to point at us really for the next few days as that very cold Arctic air continues to power up that jet stream. And whilst we continue to have that very powerful jet stream, we've still got all the ingredients for some very stormy conditions. So really over the next few days, we can expect it to be wet and windy at times. It's not till the end of next week where things should finally become a little bit calmer. Let's have a look at the forecast. So it certainly has been a very busy picture over the last few days and will continue to be so. It's really worth staying up to date with the weather forecast over the next few days because, as I say, we stay within this atmosphere where stormy conditions are possible. But let's get the detail for the here and now. We do still have the fallout from Storm Éowyn, which is moving away, very strong winds continuing into early tomorrow morning. So let's have a look now. Just have a look here on the table to the side. You can see the very strongest gusts of wind will be pulling away and continuing to do so overnight tonight as the eye of the storm moves away, and are still left with some very significant weather conditions though. So as you can see, we do still have those weather warnings in force that we covered earlier on, but it continues to be a very strong, very significant weather picture to the northern parts of Scotland. Also under clearing skies towards the south, it's cold enough for ice to develop because of course you've seen rain there today. Now, as we look into the start of the weekend, we do so still with those weather warnings in force, but it is an improving picture, particularly off Scotland. As I said before, the best thing about the fact that we've got these strong winds is that it races through pretty quickly. And in fact, we're left with a lovely day for the bulk of England and Wales and improving slowly across Scotland. Then we have a look to head to Sunday, and as you can see, we do have the next system starting to move in. Now, that is going to be roaring in from the west, bringing again strong winds, heavy rain, this time affecting the western and southern parts of the UK, and that continues into Monday morning. So the main message really is that we continue with the risk of these really stormy conditions for the next few days. I think it'll slowly calm it down by the end of next week. It's a long time away.
Yeah, it is, Becky. Thanks very much.